this is where we found out we had a wardrobe malfunction because somebody.
God, yes. I can't believe
to,
you picked the same.
First of all, I'm the cool guy, so I'm always.
What are the chances of us picking the same character?
I mean, it really was. It was just like so many characters to pick from. I don't know.
I think there's like.
It really appealed to me.
I want to say there's more than 10 different character styles that you can pick.
I feel like a lot of them were from the skins. Well, I guess from some skin packs that were actually in Minecraft, rather than just you know.
There's definitely the Steve skin. He's all the way down at the bottom, but there are some other new ones like this.
Yes.
I
like
the mustached hero.
I do like they have the skins in there though. It's like, you know, different. I guess there's a sense of customization with your characters. Yes, you can't actually make your own character skin, which actually kind of would have been cool. But this is still...
that's kind of what I was hoping, was that, you know, Minecraft base version rolled out the character customization a while back, so I was kind of hoping we'd have something like that for this as well.
I mean, it could be something that they could add later on down the line, and this is where you're switching.
So here we're going to see the number of hero skins, because I'm switching so that we're different. Of course, I picked him.
You know
so
what?
right
I should
there,
have
you've
picked
got
the one up there.
4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18.
And then obviously
There's
DLC.
over 20 different skins there at least.
At least they're actually showing you there is DLC that is going to come out for this game. They're not trying to hide it and say, oh, it will be, you know, sometime, because when you see it, you saw it there in the character select screen, and I know we see it later on the map. There's an island or stage or world or something that's coming. I mean, there's tons of possibilities for this game in terms of DLC and releasing and stuff. And I'm not
absolutely
opposed to paying for DLC for this game. The game's actually, even if you don't have the Game Pass, which I don't understand why somebody wouldn't at this day and age, but the game's only actually $20. So it's not like it's a $60 game that's going to break your wallet. It's $20. We can't afford $20, to be honest. But get the Game Pass, so much easier. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, the Game Pass is nice. But yeah, I mean, I was really surprised when this dropped, because like we've had Game Pass Ultimate, so we never actually saw a price tag associated with this.
Yeah.
So when I saw it launch for $20, it was I was really impressed with that.
I mean,
so
not bad at all.
Yeah. So right now we're seeing.
You couldn't figure out how to go
just
in.
Exploring the camp. I guess. Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to go in. That's something, and we'll encounter this later in the video. It's interesting. You actually, most games like this, you just have to walk into the entryway, and it sends you into the next room. This one, you actually have to click a prompt to go into the next room.
I mean, not any skin off of anybody's team, but it is a little bit of a nuisance. The targeting to test dummies, like in most games like this. I know in World of Warcraft they have target dummies to test out your DPS and all that. So, you see, I actually like the whole aesthetic of your camp area, your home, whatever you want to call it, your little niche away in the world of Minecraft. Now, do we ever know? Does actually Minecraft have like a world? What it's called? Like, obviously you see here, this is the overworld and different things like that. But does it actually have, like, you know, like Blizzard, World of Warcraft has Azeroth, which is their version of Earth. Obviously, we live on Earth. Gears of War has Planet Sarah, whatever it is. So do we actually ever figure out if the world of Minecraft actually has a name? That's what I actually want to.
I don't think so.
We'll just call it Minecraft World for now. The overworld. The first mission. This is definitely if for those who haven't played, because I know there's a lot of people who haven't, like this style of game, like Diablo. This is pretty much called a dungeon crawler. Get a little overworld.
It's a Diablo-esque.
Yeah, Diablo-esque. Maybe somebody's played games like Torchlight, different things like that. There's plenty of them out there. There's plenty of Diablo clones, as they call it.
So we're getting ready to go into a pretty big combat section here, which I want to talk about because there are different levels of difficulty for each of these areas. There's an easy, medium, and hard recommended on power level. The thing is, this easy is
It's
almost
childish
too easy. I mean, I'm doing. You can see my character there. I did 10 damage to those zombies, and it killed them. So I feel like the enemies, one, are super squishy. Like, I realize that these are pretty basic enemies, but I feel like even for zombies or skeletons, you know, again, 10 damage right there on the skeletons. You know, I feel like these enemies need a buff. It's not challenging at all.
I love
even
all the
for
arrows to my face.
Yeah, you got hit with so many arrows in that.
I'm pretty sure we'll complain about the easy now, how we're just like, you know, one-shotting these enemies. But I'm pretty sure once we get into the harder difficulty, we're gonna change our tune on that. Nonetheless, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I want to go back next time we play. I want to go back to the starter level, which is this one, and revisit the difficulties, even if we have a low power level, and
this is normal,
just see how we stack up.
Breathing underwater, and you're literally covered in, like, I guess a quarter-inch left was shown. Are you feeling lonely? This is cool. You could teleport to somebody instead of, like I was telling you earlier. I know games back in the day had, I guess, I don't know what they called it, a frame limit or something, where if you would go off screen, you couldn't progress past a certain point because I wasn't there. That's how the games were built. I know.
Correct. Yeah. These ones, there doesn't seem to be a limit. Like, we've gone pretty far.
I think that has to do with being that we're technically in the same game but playing our own separate games. So you can go where you want, I can go where I want. Fight.
That was this. So that's another thing. We'll talk about that right there. That weapon you just used is artifacts that we can find through the game that are just basically bonus items. So
yeah, it was a firework.
What was it? A firework?
As you see on your UI bar, where 1, 2, and 3 are, that's where the different types of artifacts you get along the game go. And so basically, the firework acts as like a bomb arrow, like you would see something from like the Legend of Zelda. Basically, it's an explosive damage arrow. It resets, the cooldowns reset over time, and different things like that. And this is where we actually find our first dungeon, which is actually pretty cool.
Yep.
Ooh, fancy music.
See, this was me. This was me trying to figure out how to get in, and that was because we had to click. So this is technically actually a separate level from where we just were, because when you're at the world map in the camp, you can actually go back and play this separately.
I think I was checking the map there. I freaking checked the map, make sure, you know, we didn't miss anything or stuff like that. There are secrets. There's loot, secret loot, secret chests. Secrets. We haven't found a secret yet, I don't think.
Yep. No, we haven't. I mean, and we've been pretty thorough too. So I'm not sure.
That's why I kept trying to roll off the stage, making sure it wasn't like something.
I think that's what's
thing we had to do. The game does look great, though.
Snipe some zombies here. Yeah, I do love, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to play Minecraft because, you know, it's such a blocky aesthetic. This is very much more like Minecraft story mode, where it's still very Minecraft, you know, but it's got a smoother feel to it. It's just cleaner. Not necessarily, you know, RTX graphics, but
definitely is there.
Still
Okay, there's
good.
the hunter armor, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah, that's the first armor set I pick up. So this is your UI bar for weapons and stuff like that. Each of the weapons have different damage and abilities, and it's mostly just a click and drag. We're still very early in the game, so we'll get more stuff and we'll be able to see more use of the UI bar a little bit later. In fact, actually, after we finish this level, we go and we meet with a blacksmith.
And it's actually pretty cool that you actually get to see the armor, not just... Okay, the armor's there, like some games where the armor's there, you know it's on, but you still have whatever clothing, you know, your default skin clothing, which is pretty cool. But it actually takes keys from its own game where you play Minecraft and you put the armor on, you know, you can see the armor and different things like that.
Here I am. I wasn't paying attention there and got attacked by all the skeletons. So we're actually going to go see, we missed a section on the maps there, so we're actually going to double back and make sure that we didn't miss any secrets or chests there, which disappointingly there's a lot of empty space here. Yeah. The map is very big, but a lot of the stuff that you go and you explore, there's nothing there. And, you know, maybe that's just because it's the easy difficulty. Maybe when we amp up the harder difficulties, we'll find more enemies, or there'll actually be something there. Now, this was a glitch.
Yeah, on my end, it was
that
opened.
Chest should not have been there.
That's why I was like, wait, what?
Because...
You know. And you know what's actually I want to bring up, too? This game is not a very big game. I think 3 gigs at the...
Yeah, it's a 3 gigabyte download. Very small game. Now, the way it's rendered with blocks and such like that helps, because Minecraft itself is not a very big game.
Make it a big game, but it really isn't. Like the map overworld keeps when we keep checking the maps and stuff. It does that weird chest again. It's false. Now it would have been cool.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like that because it's your game that we're playing through. So when I do my own game, I have to open it myself.
It was like, what's the monster in the fantasy called? Yeah.
Oh, the mimics?
Something like that.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Sure we're going the right way. See? Out of false paths again. I didn't notice before those blocks looked like creepers.
That was just a dead end for me there. No enemies, nothing.
Those blocks look like creepers.
Okay, so here's the animation. I do a fucking Thor,
I didn't know that. Like, when you landed on me, I'm like, wait, did you...
Superhero, and then boom, superhero landing. Superhero landing.
Creepers in the night.
Yeah, so this is our first encounter with creepers. Again, 15 damage with my axe.
I also wanted to bring out, if you guys notice there's numbers above our heads, that's actually our arrow count. So we know how many arrows we actually have.
Yeah, we have a limited... Arrows are actually a finite resource in this game. Now, this game is in the Minecraft universe, but it's not a traditional Minecraft game. Similar to story mode, it's just an adventure game. It's not a sandbox, there's no building, there's no mining.
Hey, false hope, because it looks like something would be there.
It's a story-based
It's not. It's like, what the hell?
And there's nothing, yeah.
Oh, you got that swiftness potion.
I love the variety of the consumables in this game is interesting to me as well. Here, you've got the strength potion, you've got the swiftness potion, you've got meat, you've got apples, you've got a whole bunch of different things, all of which have different effects. You know, like the apples have regeneration, the swiftness potion helps you run faster.
So much better.
Yeah, we ran into some spiders there, which are interesting. I like the spider combat because they just do like a web bomb, and
Hold you in
yeah,
place.
it's
annoying.
what's that called when they do that?
It's like it's almost like a stun
Yeah,
type of effect.
basically.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a stun, you know, keeps you in
Root,
place for
root,
X
that's
amount of
what the word
time.
I'm looking for.
Yeah, there you go. I'm like, no, the word. I'm like,
Yeah. So
level up!
yeah, and we'll talk about those enchantment points here in a minute because I think I'm going to actually stop and do that. I like that they gave some of these enemies armor because that kind of mixes it up, and I mean, obviously that happens in the actual Minecraft universe too. Yeah, that's the horde I ran away from.
I like how I was like feeling lonely.
Nope, not lonely. Got plenty of zombie friends around me.
I love the zombies' reaction when you kill them. It's like, ah. Then I go up top, like, ah.
The ragdoll physics are pretty good. I enjoy those. Instead of them just kind of falling over, the ragdoll physics adds a lot to the game.
So, another thing which we forgot to point out, like when I shot that arrow there, and earlier when you shot that arrow, the landscape actually plays into effect. Like, it's not just for, like, oh, you know, aesthetic. If you shoot at that the wall, the arrow's gonna hit onto the wall or hit off the wall. You know,
Yep,
it's not
it
like
will.
So where you go up on the levels and stuff, that junk like
So it's
a janky bridge.
It's annoying, but it's also practical because you can use the environment for cover, but it also protects, you know, the people you might be
Them
trying
as well.
to attack.
Yeah. And then you got the different villages and stuff, which is actually pretty cool.
The textures have got kind of an update too, which I like. So there's our arrows right there, the arrow bundles that we were talking about.
It's funny. I think the developers did that as a little homage to The Legend of Zelda. I don't know if you ever played it, but when you break the glass jars and different things like that, you have gems, or in their case, rupees, come out.
That was my
little
first thought too when we started finding those jars, was that was very Legend of Zelda. So this was funny.
That loot pig.
The pig with the chest on the back. Yeah, we got wolf armor, and there we go. We got rooted by the spider bombs there.
So the pig, that's definitely from Diablo, because in Diablo, I think through all of them, but I know it was a lot in Diablo 3. They had the loot goblin, little goblin, go running around with a little gold sack on his back, I should say. And yeah, we were messing around with the wolf armor because the wolf armor is pretty badass.
Now,
looking.
see, this is where you got a dog to come and fight for us, and I don't know why I didn't.
It didn't like you. It gave me a dog. I'm more badass than you.
I guess. See there, we tried to shoot that spider.
Yeah,
and we just put it. See now here, these are enchantments. So I'm enchanting my wolf armor right now. I've got two options. I've got electrified and I've got swift-footed. I went with electrified. So rolling zaps 3 nearby enemies, which if I had been actually paying attention and read it, I would have used it, but I didn't. I was just like, oh, I have to do an enchantment. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah,
but you can enchant everything in your inventory. I mean, your armor, your weapon, your bow. Those are all enchantable.
Wonder if we'll get bees. I got the wolf. Some bees.
You know, just run around in a bee suit.
Yeah. No, like the bee, like a bee would be like with the wolf. I like how the wolf was.
I don't know, because
like
I don't think you can't tame bees. Maybe a cat, you know.
You gotta also remember in Minecraft, bees are like the size of your head.
Yeah, they are pretty big.
The village where we had to rescue the villagers.
So these are all the illagers that
zombie
the
villagers.
illager controls with the Orb of Domination, which you learn about when you go through and see the opening cinematic. See, but even the illagers, which are typically a tougher enemy than zombies, are super squishy.
Yeah.
You know, you're taking them down with 2 arrows, I'm over here doing 18 damage to them with my axe, and they're just falling.
I think once we go play this on harder mode, I think it'll be much more different.
How does this stack up to... So, like, I haven't actually played Diablo because it just wasn't in my repertoire. How does this stack up against Diablo? For those people that are looking to compare it.
Diablo is kind of the same way where normal is... I think they have an easy mode too, but normal is too hard. I mean, no, not too hard, excuse me. Normal is too easy. They had normal, hard, you know, easy, normal, hard. Then they have the different torments. So the higher torment you go, the harder it is. But then they also have the one mode where it's pretty much if you die, it's permadeath. So that character you can no longer use. So and that's one of the hardest
difficulties. I'm curious
difficulties.
to see if they have permadeath in this. We haven't gotten to that point where we've died yet.
Yeah. But who knows? They may have some weird version. I'm gonna say right now, from personal experience, I would never wanted to try permadeath mode because I like my characters and I don't want to have to re-roll, especially if you know. And that's one of the it's an actual.
I've got so many arrows in me right now.
look at you. A lesser man would have died, but nope. You got like 20 arrows. I like how they just eventually fade away. But
so many creepers in one spot there. That could have easily turned into a very messy situation.
Yeah. Trying to figure out the settings, what it's called. I know that there's it's specifically called something. I just can't remember.
The setting?
Yeah, hardcore. Okay, hardcore setting. Or I think it might just be called permadeath. I don't know. I figure it out eventually. But yeah, it has a permadeath where basically, you know, make sure you don't give that character stuff, like legendary stuff and all that, because if you die, you die. That's it. You can never use that character again. I'm kind of hoping there's something not like in there, but even if it is, then you can kind of create a throwaway character and, you know, just run with it. I wonder if there's a secret cow level. Now that would be a true Easter egg in this game towards Diablo, because there was always a joke. This was
me showing you the teleport and how it looked, because you didn't believe my animation. But yeah, it's fun.
It's my doggy. TNT. I like how it's just above your head though.
Yeah, it's interesting the way it works. I mean, I guess it's just more of an indicator that, hey, you have this, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Before we started playing this, we went through and we were reading some of the reviews. There were a couple people that I really can't believe that review bombing is still a thing. A lot of people review bombed the PC version of this, which is what we're playing on, because there were some issues with the launcher at the start of the day, probably because everybody and their brother was trying to play the goddamn game. Now, we didn't have a problem until towards the end of the recording where the servers just went down. However, there was one review that said this is a really hard game to play. The buttons are really far apart. We played most of this game with our mouse. Obviously, it's totally different experience on controller. But with a mouse and keyboard, every button you could possibly... I mean, most buttons that you need are on your mouse. You have left click for attack, right click for your secondary attack, and that's it. If you need to heal, it's the E key, inventory is the I key. You don't barely use your other arm.
And it's not like you have to click each time your character... You literally can click and just hold where your character goes.
Yeah. So I don't really understand what that person was getting at. But that's just a reminder to be aware of review bombing when it comes to new games.
As you can see here, you know, you got a cool mission summary where nobody's going down, 67% of chests open, so we kind of missed some chests, even though we were kind of searching everywhere, so we got to kind of go back. I'm thinking maybe it's, if you go into the higher difficulty, you can, like, it can't be completed unless you do, like, the other difficulties, things
and
like
at the
that,
end,
and then you get a reward afterwards.
And at the end of each level, you get an end game chest, which gives you some pretty good stuff. I mean, I really have no idea what the hell I'm supposed to do with a tasty bone, but we're gonna find out.
That tasty bone, that's how I actually got the dog. That's where the dog comes from.
That's how you did. Okay, so tasty bones bring wolves into your game.
The wolves, I should say dogs. Wolves, this seem different.
Well, dogs are just domesticated wolves. I mean, it's the same thing.
The loot afterwards.
Now we're back in the camp.
Now back at my camp.
Woohoo! And we have
there we go.
A new guy. We have a chest, and we have a blacksmith. So that's what all the emeralds are used for. Trade 80 emeralds, and you get a random piece of equipment that is good for your level. Now, 80 emeralds sounds like a lot. It's not. You get, I think, between missions, we talked to him probably 5-6 times. We would get so many. We would get so many weapons. It's crazy.
This is the inside of my house.
I'm interested to see what they they bring in stuff that you can use to like decorate your house.
That's what I was thinking, because like
collectibles
nice,
kind of a thing.
What else is? Yeah, exactly. It's like it's nice, but what else can I do with it other than it just look pretty?
So here we're gonna go through
maybe like
more
a Skyrim
of
type of deal.
The inventory section here. You've got down at the bottom, you've got the 3 boxes that are for consumables. Up top, you've got your primary, your armor, and then your secondary weapon. And these are, again, the enchantments that you can use. Each weapon has different ones.
And you can see for the enchantments, there's different types. Like that one's a power one, the middle one is speed, and the last one has to do with the area of effect. They unlock as you progress, because I know when we were playing later, my second one for one of my weapons, I could choose between power or speed. So, and just be aware that, you know, smaller weapons like daggers and things like that, they lack on power, but they're speedy, so you can, you know.
Yeah, your attack speed for smaller weapons is higher than with bigger weapons, which, I mean, we'll see evidence of here, I think, actually going into this next level.
Yeah, you picked up that cool...
Yeah, I picked up a dancer's... It's called a dancer's sword. I think I'm actually on my way to go buy that right now from him. Maybe.
It reminds me of the Warglaive from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's also the favored weapon of the main character from Final Fantasy IX. Fun fact. Actually, I don't know if it's the favored weapon, but it's the weapon I always put on him.
Still exploring. This place is huge, so there's definitely room for some type of...
I think definitely as we save more villagers, we'll see more them returning and populating this area. Because what you didn't see in this recording was that the tutorial was us going through the village that was ransacked by the Arch-Illager and his minions. And then at the end, we get to this, which is our camp. So all the barriers we're running into right now, on the other side of that is the original encampment. Or the village, I guess, that was burning.
It'll be interesting. I mean, because the blacksmith came out of nowhere, so...
Yeah. So maybe it's a ratio, you know, every 5 villagers we save in missions is 1 villager that returns here.
Maybe some... Yeah, exactly. Like, as you go progress... throughout or the different modes.
That was interesting. One of the abilities on the Dancer Sword was increased attack speed.
Yeah, interesting.
And there's also different levels of weapons. You've got, you know, rare, unique, common. The Dancer Sword is a unique one. And while it's
the unique is like the like a legendary in any other type of game, different things like that.
It's technically weaker than my axe, but the axe gives me a range of damage from like 8 to 15 or something like that, while the Dancer's Sword is just a straight 13. So I'll take the straight 13 damage over a possible range any day. That was
Yep, there
that
you
was
go.
you rolling off the edge.
I wanted to see what would happen. I do that a couple times in our playthrough. I roll off things. I like to.
So we
explore.
finished that one, and now we have all these open areas again. See, and there's the
And
coming.
then you see
soon
down
right
there, coming soon. So there's definitely going to be room for growth in this game, which is great because there has so many possibilities.
So right there,
I
you
love
can
it.
see the village that's on fire too, over in the on the left side in the lower section. That's basically where we're. That's basically where we're based out of.
Yeah. So hopefully.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 difficulties I'm seeing there.
Yeah. 1 through 6, and everything goes by the team power and your power and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is actually common in these types
Yeah.
of dungeon crawler games.
I'd be interested to see how we stack up against enemies if we're underpowered for a mission.
I.e. with Joe.
Yeah.
Well, no, because we would be...
We would be
Powerful. I don't
overpowered
know.
for Joe's missions. Which
Yeah.
you'll be able to catch that action.
Stop yawning because
sorry.
you're making me yawn now.
You'll be able to see us do a playthrough with Joe on Thursday. Time is TBD. But you'll be able to come and see us. We'll do that live on stream.
Be dancing.
To be determined. But yeah.
I
I'll be dancing.
yeah,
So
Squidward.
here's the interesting thing. We talked about this. You had a cinematic. This was your party, your camp. You had a cinematic going into this level. I did not.
I can see that now.
I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah, basically my cinematic was just like, talking about the witches, how they're in this swamp and they supply the, with the arch illagers with the potions and stuff like that, and it's our job to stop it. And this kind of gives like a camera pan over like the swamp area kind of. So I'm surprised you don't get that.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed because you know me, I'm a huge lore nut. So I did feel that this level was a little bit more difficult. Not super difficult, but there was some. Obviously, we got witches involved in this map, and baby zombies.
As you see there, I picked up some sickles. They're pretty awesome. I
Oh,
must
they
say.
are.
And they give me a little chain attack. I felt like I was Kratos for a little bit. The baby zombies. No zombies left safe.
I don't feel like these baby zombies were as hard to handle as they are.
No, they were just hilarious that they ride on everything. Whatever
Oh yeah,
they can.
we'll get to see that later.
I was actually surprised when you guys were playing Minecraft that one day you had the zombie riding the cat.
Yeah, that was interesting. The zombie riding
That
the
was
cat, and
hilarious.
the
When
zombie
you
riding.
sent that picture, I'm like, wait, there's a zombie riding a cat?
Yeah. So I'm just looking down here at the UI bar. There's actually a finite number of totems at the bottom there.
Oh yeah, I see
I
that.
didn't notice that before.
No.
So basically, the totems are when we die, or roll off the edge or something like that. It brings us back to life. Obviously, if you've watched or if you've played regular Minecraft, you know what they are.
Ah, the jellies. Skeletons have always been annoying to me, even in Minecraft.
Yeah. So I picked up a new set of armor there, the Evocation Robe.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives me +8 health, but I think I opted to not attach it just because of the other effects were outweighed by the wolf armor in that situation.
Wolf Farmer's still pretty cool,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Gotta go destroy the bruise. I wonder if this is one of the ones you see me roll off.
A little bit later, yeah. Because we go up to that edge and we're not sure if there's something there, and I'm like, I dare you to do it. And you're like, okay.
I never back down from it there. Gotta chump.
Now, even with as many enemies as were there when I was by myself, I did not... I panicked a little bit, but I wouldn't say I felt overwhelmed. Like, I knew I could handle it, but it was just... It was a lot.
Yeah, it was...
But again, that comes back to these enemies being squishy. I just don't... I wasn't worried about getting out of there alive.
I like how my chain attack actually still chains no matter if I'm on the lower or on the higher. You see the drops of meat like in Minecraft when we kill a horse. I mean, not a horse, God.
I mean, technically,
a cow. A cow or a sheep. A horse. Yeah, I eat horse meat. Actually, I was watching something. Is it The Office? No. I think, yeah, it was The Office. Dwight, they made horse jerky. It was weird. We need to get Joe playing this game with some adult beverage in him.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because, you know, his reactions will be like, come here and let me slice you. Something Joe-esque.
Joe doesn't really like Minecraft because of the creative aspect of it. It's just a lot for him.
It's a lot. I'm not going to lie.
It is. There are
agree
days
with
where you
that,
go
but-
into Minecraft and you're like, well, what the fuck am I going to do today? But I think he
Yeah,
would
I'll
really
get like
enjoy
that.
this. And I know he is excited to play it. And we were going to play it with him today, but he was not home. Oh, okay. See? Enderman.
Yeah, that's where he got all distorted. And I was like, what the hell is going
Yeah,
on? Why
it
is it
totally
distorted?
distorts your screen.
I thought I was running into something, but then you ran up to the
Now,
Enderman.
technically, I think I could have walked past him because Endermen are passive until you attack them.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice how intense the music got right there.
It did. That's why I was like, wait, what's going on?
I would say he was kind of a mini boss,
Yeah. Definitely a mini boss.
but again, I wasn't worried about it.
I can only imagine how this is going to be on like the higher levels and stuff. Yeah,
I'm excited.
it's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to
It'll
playing
be
this
fun.
on a harder level because
I am too.
this is, I mean,
Maybe.
this is a good, you know, I was listening to a podcast yesterday talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield and how easy it was to finish the game. And
Yeah, I will agree it
they
was.
talked about that in that it is a good way to introduce people into Pokemon. It's a good first game. Yeah, there you go. You just rolled.
there
See?
you go.
And there's your totem. Right there. But yeah,
Gotta be
Pokemon Sword and
careful
Shield
with
was
those
a good
next time we play.
first game for first-time Pokemon players. Right? So, and when was the last time we had a... I mean, obviously there's probably a bunch of indie games, but when was the last time we had a AAA dungeon crawler released?
Diablo.
Diablo. But that was a
That
while
was-
ago, right?
3 years ago, I
Yep.
think.
So this
3 or 4 years.
this is a good game, especially since the Minecraft audience tends to lean young. This is a good first dungeon crawler game for the younger generation. You know, I could play this. I could sit down and play this with a 5-year-old or somebody who has a basic understanding of a controller, and they would be fine. I wouldn't have to worry about them. But they would be excited about it, you know?
Yeah.
They wouldn't understand how squishy the enemies are. They would feel, I don't know if they would necessarily feel challenged, but they would be excited about the game.
Like, oh yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
And that feeling of accomplishment.
Exactly. And I think that's what this base level challenge is.
That's.
We're almost done here.
Exploring depths. And that's how I picked up scattered crossbow. It's cool, you can see what stuff you people pick up. Your people pick.
Yeah, the other players can see each other, what everybody's looting.
Pick up. Yeah. There I go, that scatter bow, trying it out.
It sounds like it's a freaking piano or something. It makes an interesting sound.
I want to say a lute.
Yeah, that would probably be more realistic.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah, a lute.
So the other good thing about this is that everybody gets their own loot drops. You know, so it's not like if Jose went and hit that vase with the emeralds in it, that he's the only one that get those emeralds. Everybody can get those as long as you go by and collect them.
Yeah, I mean... I want to see the... Well, not the creeper. Zombies with full armor.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for when we run into some gold armor or something.
Oh, you know what's funny? These are, I'm pretty sure these are only like a fraction of like the enemies, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like golems in here and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. They were in the trailers. Like we said, we only played for an hour though, so who knows what we're gonna run into. You'll catch more of that on the stream on Thursday. Be there.
Need to find out.
Mm-hmm. I will say that these levels didn't feel excessively long. We did get the feeling that these were going to be pretty short games, or a short game. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But again, with the difficulty levels, there's a lot of replayability. And who knows, maybe the levels generate differently too on the higher difficulties.
I mean, if you know, games like Torchlight, Diablo, I believe that the levels and like with enemies change on each game to keep it fresh, so it's not the same. I wouldn't see why Minecraft wouldn't do that, being that the whole aesthetic, you know, is building, creating your world, whatever. So it would make sense for them to do that in some way, shape, or form. So that would be pretty interesting to see if they actually end up doing that.
Yeah. So what you're seeing in those last 2 seconds there was indicators. There's a chat wheel that you get that can be utilized to communicate with each other. Commands like come here or chest here or other stuff like that that helps you work together as a team, even if you're not using a mic, which I think is good because you can, I believe you can join random games on this, random online games to play with people. So that was me
I kept
indicating
spamming the chat by mistake, like oops.
As a PC gamer, your hands automatically go to the WASD keys, which is your up, down, left, right. And I just automatically did that because that's your movement keys. not remembering that this is a point-and-click adventure. I don't need those keys. They're actually on the chat wheel. I would say in this early game too, there's not really any classes.
No, not like your
Yeah.
Thundercrawler game.
Because like when we started out,
I got stuck. I told you don't come up here, but you.
I did it anyway because I wanted to be dumb.
Got stuck in a worse spot than I did. And then you still go back up there. What the hell?
Well, because it was accessible. Like we could we could get up there. I'm like, my thought was there's got to be a secret up here, but there's nothing.
You know what? I'm wondering if you could have rolled onto those other platforms.
I'm thinking, that one was probably a distance, but you probably could have gotten there from like the dirt.
Up here. Let's go.
Yeah, probably not because that wall.
I know there's platforms there, but we gotta find the secrets. I know this level had none, but other levels are going to have secrets. And
yeah, the last level had at
just
least 2, I believe.
Yeah, and there's no real indicators. Like some games are like, oh, you need to go this way, or press this, or yada yada yada, whatever.
I'm wondering if it's one of those things like. I've been seeing those skull and crossbones signs everywhere. I wonder if it's something like that where you've got to.
Those are not to go into the swamp.
Yeah, I know, but I wonder if it's something like that where it's a prop,
like an indication, like something.
Or like the secret is hit all 15 of these signs or something like that.
Yeah,
and it opens up an area.
Actually, this stage was pretty.
This was a pretty long stage, but I never felt
it wasn't like long and drawn out.
Yeah, I never finished a level and sat there and went, ugh, that took forever. So this was our first boss fight.
It was intense.
It was a corrupted cauldron.
You're spitting out purple jellies. It wasn't cool, man. It wasn't cool.
And our problem was we just got cocky here.
Yeah, we did.
Because we actually ended up dying. So you were trying to damage the cauldron, and I was trying to do crowd control. And then there's the baby zombie and the chicken.
Yeah, your health was stupid low. And I think I yelled at you like, use your E. Oh no, you did die. Oh no, we did die. I forgot. we did die. And then we had the team. But what's cool though is it doesn't reset like other games.
Maybe.
Like the boss
you know
reset.
what? That's what those totems are. It isn't like individual totems. It's the team lives.
Team ones.
Yeah. So we have 3 chances at a level.
This is my swamp.
There's all my inventory. I just found out. I think this is where we find out I can salvage them.
Well, no, when we were back at the camp and you were like, I have no room for anything.
It's just like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and keep collecting all of these items?
Like, you can salvage, right? You're like, son of a bitch.
The Arch-Illager's potion supply is no more, and it'll be a long time before the witches recover from this blow.
Recalled.
Well done.
Thank you.